Okay, our topic was about relating matter, energy, time, and space. So, how are they all related? The relationship is simple. It lies in the theory of relativity, which means that they are all relatives, and they are all binded somehow through the theory of relativity. Okay, so what is the theory of relativity, or what does it explain? The theory of relativity talks about that everything is comparable to one another, which means that nothing is constant, not even time. And time can change with speed, time can change with space, and so it is relative depending on the speed of the mover, it is relative depending on many other factors. So everything is relative. The theory of relativity is the product of development of mathematical equations from Galileo, from Newton, and finally special relativity was introduced by Einstein in 1905. The term theory of relativity was coined by Max Planck in 1908.
First, let's talk about Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was a German Swiss American theoretical physicist, as well as philosopher and author. He's born in 1879 in Württemberg in Germany. His father was Hermann Einstein, a salesman and engineer. In elementary school, Albert Einstein was the top student in his year. He started to build models and mechanical devices for fun at an early age, and slowly his talent in mathematics began to astonish his family and his professors. In 1889, Max Tillman introduced the 10 years old Einstein to key texts in science, mathematics, and philosophy. This was crucial because after that he wrote his first scientific work on magnetic field. In 1896 he entered the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich to be trained as a teacher in physics and mathematics. He graduated with a diploma and in 1905 he obtained his doctor's degree. The reason why Albert Einstein is important is due to the fact that he is one of the most influential scientists and intellectuals of all time. He is often called as the father of modern physics. He managed to publish more than 300 scientific work and more than 150 non-scientific. He received in 1921 the Nobel Prize in Physics for Theoretical Physics. He also won the Copley Medal in 1925 and the Max Planck Medal in 1929. To honor his effort, the chemical element 99 Einsteinium was named after him in 1955 after his death, and the word Einstein became a synonym for genius. All this information show how unique Albert Einstein is compared with other scientists. The most important theories discovered by Einstein are the founding of relativistic cosmology, the prediction of the deflection of light by gravity and gravitational lensing, the first fluctuation dissipation theorem, the photon theory and wave-particle duality, the quantum theory of atomic motion in solids, and most importantly, the special and general theory of relativity.
Albert Einstein, his work and its influence on the world. Einstein's work is beyond understanding, and his image, values, and personality are more likely to be as dreams to people. Although it is difficult to understand anyone's thoughts, Einstein's thoughts and personal beliefs are very clear on such matters as religion, politics, and philosophy. Einstein's influence on the history of modern science is so broad that it has tremendous effect on the history of modern science. Einstein made many contributions to culture during a period of great ferment, like a change in the arts, and he displayed little or no interest in the literature, music, or visual arts of his own period. Einstein's political ideal was democracy, so he believed that everyone should be respected as an individual and no one is idolized. Albert Einstein's view on God and religion was that the most beautiful experience you can have is the mysterious. It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science. Einstein's theories have changed the way that modern men and women think about the phenomena of inanimate nature. Einstein said that every individual should have the opportunity to develop the gifts which may be latent in him. So he inspired and encouraged others to discover and develop themselves. Einstein's effects on the popular imagination continued through his life and after it. Because Einstein was a legendary thinker, he inspired, influenced, and contributed to many other discoveries. Therefore, Albert Einstein played a significant role in people's lives. Albert Einstein and World War II. Following World War II, Einstein became even more involved and spoke deeply. Besides campaigning for a ban on nuclear weapons, he criticized other scientists and decided to banish bigotry and racism, coming as they did at the height of the Cold War. The hallowed professor's pronouncements seemed well-meaning, if naive. Life magazine listed Einstein as one of this country's 50 prominent. Cassidy said that Einstein had a straight moral sense that others couldn't always see, even other moral people. Harvard physicist and historian Gerald Holton adds, if Einstein's ideas are really naive, the world is really in pretty bad shape. Rather, it seems to him that Einstein's human and democratic instincts are an ideal political model for the 21st century. What more could we ask for a man to personify the past 100 years? Also, during the 1930s and into the World War II, Einstein sent USA recommending visas for a huge number of Jews from Europe trying to help them. And he helped to raise money for uh, from Zionist organization and was somehow responsible for the formation in 1933 of the International Rescue Committee. Meanwhile, in Germany, there was a threat to kill him because he was Jewish, and there was a campaign tried to eliminate Einstein's work by any means to get him away.
The most famous of Newton's equations is E equals mc squared, which is E stands for the energy, m is the mass, and c is the speed of light. This equation relates energy to the mass of the object, which means that when the object moves faster or has more energy to move faster, its weight increases. Also, it increases, like when the mass increases, the energy increases dramatically. So this equation takes into consideration that time is constant. There is the whole equation, which is not stated here, which says that it puts time into consideration as a relative object, which means that it changes. The theory of relativity basically says that time is relative and that if you move fast enough, you can exceed time. You can, let's give an example of somebody who's moving by the speed of light and somebody who's standing still. The one who's moving by the speed of light, well, his mass increases, and of course the time he is in moves much faster. While the other person who's standing still, time moves normally. So let's say after 10 years, the person who's moving with the speed of light will probably have lived for like 100 years. And the one who's standing still or is living his life normally without moving at the speed of light will probably be like, for example, 20 years. So the one who's moving at the speed of light will exceed time, will go into the future. That's the theory of relativity. And that's how time travel could be possible, although it is highly unlikely. Why is the theory of relativity important? Well, besides time traveling, which is a science fiction material, it is very essential in explaining things relative to each other, which means that if we cannot see something, we can do like a model that is similar to it, and the objects in this model, the relationship between them is exactly like the unseen object. That way, we can do tests on it, we can apply things on it to see how they work, even though we can't see it and we can't really know how to work, which could really help us in many things. Also, it can be used in explaining stars in space, it can be used in explaining electrons, neutrons, and atoms. it is a very important theory.